Welcome. Thank you for joining us. You're watching Eye on Harvard, brought to you by InTimeTV. I'm Ogan Gurel. Eye on Harvard broadcasting worldwide, the world affecting Harvardians and Harvardians affecting the world. And today we have a very special show, a very special guest, David Wilhelm, known to many of you. Welcome, David.
Good to see you.
Good to see you. That's fascinating because I think one of the critiques, if you will, has been that change without, how should I say, the policies or the substance. And Senator Clinton has said, well, I have the policies. But what it seems to me you're saying is that the problems require, as we said before the break, a 60% solution, in the sense you have to gather people around. And to the extent that personality and history and other character capabilities contribute to the coalescence of interests rather than necessarily specific policies per se.
Right.
That's what it seems to be important to you.
Barack Obama has all these specific policies that one could shake a stick at. Right. No, I know. Yeah. I know you're not, but it's important to say that, I think. You know, we could compare and contrast, you know, the policy documents that each has, and I think they'd each be about the same heft. They'd weigh the same. You know, they have people who are advising them who, you know, have similar experiences and so on. The question is, what style of leadership is most conducive to actually getting stuff done? And I think the style of leadership that fits this day and age is a style that, call it what you will. Some people say it's post-partisan. I don't like that term necessarily, but it's a style that brings people together. It is a style that pulls together people of goodwill, of differing views, into a common cause. Barack Obama's time in the Illinois legislature, his time in Congress, shows me that he can do that. My knowledge of him personally tells me that he can do it. You know, I just wonder whether Senator Clinton, by contrast, you know, she's a fighter, you know, and she'll do whatever it takes.
We've seen that.
You know, and all that, then in some ways is both, you know, is remarkable and a reason for admiration in some ways. It's a leadership style that I'm not sure, though, you know, brings us together as a people. And so I wonder about that. And, you know, I definitely believe that Barack Obama does bring that to the table, and therefore he's the kind of 60% president that we need to have if we're going to get our troops out of Iraq, if we're going to, you know, reconstitute American foreign policy, if we're going to pass health care reform that will really benefit people that don't have it right now, if we're going to get stuff done that really improves the lives of the American people, then we're going to need to do it in a way that brings us all together. And, you know, in many ways, I think that's what this race comes down to. It comes down to Democratic voters' preference, relative preference for the leadership style of each candidate. Do you like that, you know, the fighter, or do you like the guy that's going to bring us together? And because they agree on so many issues, I do think leadership style, at the end of the day, will explain a lot about the ultimate outcome.
Yeah, I think, and the reason I mentioned that it's less a matter of policy is, as you pointed out, they all have policies.
Right.
And I think, quite frankly, that there are not huge differences.
Right.
I mean, obviously, they're Democrats, etc. But there is a, however you want to phrase it, and I think you put it aptly, a leadership style, character, personality, etc. That is a pretty stark difference.
Right. And I think that's what the essential choice is. And so you see in a state like Pennsylvania, or state like Ohio, which has been you know, rocked by economic challenges and difficulties, and people, you know, respond, I think, very favorably to the kind of rocky image that Senator Clinton is portraying right now. So she runs well in those areas. But I also think there are many, many, many Democrats who say to themselves, you know what? It's that kind of talk, it's that kind of negativity, it's that kind of, combativeness, it's that kind of stuff that causes gridlock in Washington, D.C.
Sure.
We need to break that gridlock. The way we're going to break that gridlock is by having a president capable of generating 60% majorities. So that is that's a fundamental choice. That's a big thing to think through. And I think one of the reasons this race is so close and this race is going on for so long is the fact that choice is both clear and a difficult one to make.